Hi, my name is Liz Rice, and I'm presenting my research proposal on correlating current property sale prices with proximity to urban greenways in Indianapolis, Indiana. So urban parks, which often feature greenways, are any public area of land set aside for use by the public amidst essentially urban surroundings. And in 2017, a full 69% of residents in the 100 largest US cities could walk to an urban park. And more than $7 million was invested in urban parks. It was found, and it's been found across multiple studies, in fact, that properties closer to urban parks are generally, although not always, relatively higher in value. And because higher property values command higher property taxes, it's important for city planners to understand the impact of urban parks on the values of adjacent and nearby properties. So I have two examples here. One that shows how being near an urban park doesn't always mean that one's property is going to be valued higher. In fact, properties that are located near urban parks that have high crime rates have a negative correlation, meaning that the property values might actually be lower compared to those that are near safe parks. In Indianapolis specifically, research from 2004 found that homes near one greenway sold for 11% more than average, and that about a $4 million investment in the construction and maintenance of recreational trails or greenways would yield $22.6 million in economic benefits. This is compelling data that needs to be updated for 2021 and 2022. So many people visit parks for physical activity purposes, and Hamilton et al. In 2017 found that better maintained recreational infrastructure generally yields increased park visitation, and higher park visitation will generally correlate with higher sale prices nearby. So that's because these parks are desirable for folks that want to own property near these parks. So let's define what a greenway is. Ahern in 1995 defined a greenway as a network of land connecting linear elements that are planned, designed, and managed for multiple purposes, including recreational, aesthetic, and other purposes compatible with the concept of sustainable land use. In Indianapolis specifically, there are more than 43 miles of greenways. However, there's no current data on how proximity to greenways impacts property sale values in Indianapolis. This particular greenway, it's a very popular location in the city. It features paths that encourage visitors to move through the park via rentable watercraft, bicycles, on foot. So we see a lot of joggers. We see people using bicycles to explore the city. And in this next one, we see another popular greenway. We see people taking their children out in strollers. We see people commuting. We see people recreating on this trail. With the number of folks that use these trails regularly, it's important that they are studied. So the closer, the better. That's the big question of this proposed research study. There's limited current research that really examines whether urban parks that feature greenways specifically correlate with higher sales prices for those properties that are located within walking distance or a quarter of a mile of the greenway. So the data that this study will yield is whether the presence of greenways impacts property sale prices at all, and whether there is a correlation between a property's proximity to a greenway and its sale price. This research is valuable again because by correlating property sale prices with their proximity to greenways, the city of Indianapolis can make more informed decisions when modifying or updating park infrastructure. So this is a lot of text here, but there are 10 greenways in Indianapolis that are at least a mile long. Again, this totals more than 43 miles total. What this research proposes to do is to have two groups of properties to study, one single family, one multifamily, such as condo buildings, apartments, properties like that. So all residential, truly. And then looking at the sales price of each property between 2019 and 2021 for those properties that are located within a quarter mile of at least one greenway, and those that are located within a quarter mile and a half mile of one greenway. After the data is compiled, it'll be segmented by property in terms of square footage and the number of bathrooms, so as to determine whether there is actually a difference in property sale prices between similar homes with different proximities to a greenway. So there are two data sets that you can see here. These are all sample. One table is for single family homes, another table is for multifamily homes. So we are really comparing like to like for the purpose of our hedonic pricing model. So if the only thing that is different really between these homes is their proximity to an urban greenway, that information is telling. We will also be using an ArcGIS map to provide a visual reference of property locations, greenway locations, and property sale prices. And this map will be an incredibly useful visual tool to get a quick take on the impact of proximity to urban greenway locations on sale prices. So these are only anticipated results, but across the more than 1,000 properties the study anticipates evaluating, it's likely that it is going to reveal that along about 2/3 of the greenways in Indianapolis, that there will be a positive correlation between proximity to greenways and higher home prices. However, for the other 1/3, there'll be a minimally positive correlation, and in some cases even a negative. So because properties with higher sale prices do yield increased tax revenue for the city, the results of this research do implicate a positive return on greenway investment. However, further research is needed to determine why there's a strong positive correlation between sales price and proximity to some trails, but not others, specifically the ones listed in this slide. My references are available here as well as in the full proposal. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.